have Amelia here with me today. She is just over 2 months old, and we are going to show you how to swaddle a baby. A lot of moms say, my babies just don't like to be swaddled. That might be true sometimes, but I think for the most part, just keep trying. They may look like they're fighting the swaddle, but really little infants still need to be swaddled because that startle reflex is still there. Their arms are going to be flailing everywhere, they're going to be hitting themselves in the face, and they really do sleep so much better if they are nice and tight. This is a swaddle blanket from Max and Moose, and I really like it. It's really stretchy, but it is starting to get just a little too small for Amelia because she's getting a little bit taller. I like to have swaddle blankets that have stretch to them. This is a really pretty one. It's really big and it works well. It's more of a muslin type of material. There's no stretch to it. I do like it because it is big though. I am going to be swaddling her in this blanket. This is from Maury June, also known as Jordan Page, and this has been one of my favorite ones because it's really big and super stretchy. So I just make it nice and clean. I try and get all the wrinkles out, and that's about as big as I do the triangle. When I lay my babies down, I just lay them in the middle of that with the top of the blanket just barely above their shoulders. I take her right arm and I hold it flat down, and I grab the top of the corner of the triangle, and when you do this, the trick is to keeping it nice and tight. So when I bring it around, I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to hold it tight as I bring all the other fabric around just like that. And I'm holding it tight, and I'm going to roll her over and tuck it in behind her back. Hold her tight right here and take my right hand and pull the fabric down. So it's pretty smooth behind her legs and behind her back, and it's still tight right here. Now this is the part that a lot of people do differently, or I do it different. You bring up the bottom part of the triangle, and a lot of people take it like this and wrap it behind that shoulder. I like to open it up into another triangle like that. And then I take this part, it's just a little bit, but I tuck it under. And then I take this part of the triangle, make sure this arm is down, and I tuck that under. And when I do that, I take this hand and I pull the fabric tight. And I'm making it flat underneath her back so there's no wrinkles. And it is important to make sure that this part right here is not too tight because you want their hips to be able to move a little bit and not too constricted. And then you have all of this fabric here to work with. And so I take the top again, and instead of going straight across, it bunches up at her face. I like to take it and bring it at just a little bit of an angle, but keep it up over her shoulders a little bit. See all that? And you can kind of straighten it back out if you need to, like that. Sometimes I do this in like 5 seconds. There's a few wrinkles, but I'm just showing you, taking our time, making it nice and pretty looking. And then there's a little leftover, depending on how big the blanket is. You can bring it up and tuck it under here. You can tuck it under here, or just kind of hold it. And now this is what I call a baby burrito. Are you my baby burrito? And for their naps, I like to take off the hair bows. She's wrapped up nice and tight. I do just a little bit of a rock. You can do a little bit of a pat and shush in their ear, or have a sound machine on. And I like to do this for just a few minutes, not for very long. And when I lay her down in her bed, I lay her down still awake. That way she gets used to falling asleep on her own. Not all the time. I still definitely take my time and rock her to sleep sometimes, just so I can enjoy that, because the babies are only little once, and this is my last. But you can tell she's getting kind of fussy here, but she can't move her arms. This is where a lot of parents might think that their baby doesn't like to be swaddled because she's kind of fighting it, but I promise you, it's good for them. Let's go lay you down. Okay, that took a few minutes for her to fall asleep, but did you see how she was staring at you? I had the camera up above the crib and she was just staring at you. What a sweetie. I have been following the Peaceful Sleeper on Instagram and she's given lots of great tips. And she's my 5th baby, so I've kind of learned things as I've gone on. But a few things to keep in mind when laying babies down for a nap. Don't wait for them to get super tired. Don't wait for them to start crying and screaming. Look for early signs. A lot of times when they're red right here, like red on their unibrow, when they're red on their eyebrows, or their eyes are a little red, or they're yawning obviously, or they're rubbing their eyes, try and get them down for a nap before they are too tired. When adults get really tired, they just crash. I mean, most of the time. When babies get really tired, they get overstimulated and their minds just like they can't calm down as easily. And so if you are thinking, oh, I will keep my baby up longer so that they get more tired so that they will sleep better, it is the complete opposite. Do not do that. Your babies will get more tired and their brains are overstimulated and then they can't bring themselves to calm down and to sleep good enough, or at least they'll fall asleep and then they might wake up a half hour later. So those are just a few things to keep in mind. I've also been asked a few times about the snoo, so let me tell you my thoughts on the snoo. Do I like the snoo? Yes, I think it's great. A lot of times I will lay her down for a nap in her bedroom so that she gets used to her room and I don't have to do this big transition of transferring her into her room. So that's why she's in there, and that way I can talk about this a little bit. This is my sister Ellie's and she's been gracious enough to let several people use it when she's not using it. It is very pricey and I honestly don't think it makes my babies sleep any better than they ever have before. The one nice thing about it, you don't have to worry about learning how to swaddle a baby. You can do this and then zip them up and they are swaddled in, and when they start crying, the whole thing moves back and forth. The sound machine will get louder. Because of those features, yes, Amelia will fall back asleep. If she wakes up, she starts crying, it'll start rocking her and shushing her and she will fall back asleep. That is nice, but I've gone through 4 kids without it and I've been just fine. So I don't think I would ever buy one because a few people have asked me if it's worth it, but it's been great to be able to use. Anyway, so those are just my thoughts on it. Hello. Hi. You stretch?